Hey, everybody. Happy New Year. Welcome back to the A to Jump podcast. As always, I'm your host, Jacob, aka Gooba of the YouTube channel Gooba and Jetpack. And I am joined by my good friend and co host, Justin of Justin Games. Justin, how are we doing?
Hello, I'm good.
Good.
How are you, Sir Gooba?
What? Just wonderful. Fantastic.
That's good. Did you have a wonderful holiday?
I did. It was busy. I went right from Christmas to a work trip, came home on New Year's Eve, and then was sick for a week. So,
Oh, lovely. I was sick too. That's weird.
but you know,
I
all good fun.
I avoided COVID for nearly 4 years, but it finally got me.
Yeah, it's it does that. I think
Yep.
I've only had it once. Whatever I had last week wasn't that, but um, I think it got me like 2 years the after it started,
Mm-hmm.
and all I did was just played Red Dead Redemption for a week. So all in all, not too
Perfect.
bad.
Not a bad time. Not a
Yeah.
bad time. I played Monster Hunter for most of mine.
Nice.
So that worked.
All
All
right.
right. Well, being this first or the beginning of the year, video game companies they always seem to kind of take January off.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so there's not uh, much news, but there are a few releases. We're going to get into some exciting 2024 releases a little bit later. First, there are some news bites that we're going to go over, some union stuff, which I did not know that. I mean, of course they are, but video game voice actors are unionized in
Mm-hmm.
SAG-AFTRA.
Yeah.
Didn't know that, but we got some news there. Got some more Last of Us HBO season 2 news.
Mm-hmm.
Jake's excited about all that. We'll jump into that. And drumroll, the return of our random game reviews,
Hey.
which we only did once.
The
But
long-awaited return.
we are the long-awaited return. We are calling it Random Roll Review, which I thought of all by myself.
Yep.
But yes, we'll get into that. That'll be at the end of the show. Stick around. That'll be exciting.
Oh yeah.
But first, what have we been playing, Jake? Anything fun and exciting you've been doing?
I've been playing a few things, so I can't remember if it was before or after the last recording, but I did finally beat Spider-Man 2.
Okay.
And I thought it was great. It was a lot of fun. I mean, I feel like I've gone over this a ton, especially in our Game Awards show, so I don't need to go into it much, but I think they improved on a lot of things that might have gotten a little bit stale in the first game. I thought the story was really good. I liked a lot of the new abilities. Yeah, no complaints about that.
Nice.
I also I found a way to go back and get the last few trophies in the first Spider-Man. So I now
Okay,
have
so
a new
you've
platinum trophy.
Oh,
So
nice. So you finagled
I'm up to 2
your
now.
way to get into that.
Yeah.
Nice.
I figured that out. And then what else? I started playing Ghost Runner 2. Have you seen anything on that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fun one. It's kind of similar to like a Mirror's Edge in a way, but you're like
All right.
a half robot samurai type thing.
Half robot samurai type thing.
Yeah. So you have a katana and you have what are the throwing stars called? I can't remember.
Like shurikens or something like that.
Shuriken, I think it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you have those. And yeah, that's a good time. It's fun to like, it's kind of one of those games where like if you mess up, it'll just There's no like weight or anything like that. If you fall, it just puts you right back to the last checkpoint and you go again. And you just kind of have to map out your route the through the map and like pick what order to take out certain enemies, because like some of them have different attacks. Like you can only uh like you can't dodge some of them, like you have to parry it. um but that's been pretty cool. I haven't done too much of that. And then other than that, um I kind of let my teenage toxic gamer out a little bit, and I got into some Call of Duty.
Okay. Everyone needs to jump back into that every once in a while.
I don't know, man. I just had, first of all, I did not pay full price. It was on
Of
sale
course.
on PlayStation.
Good.
I had some money from Christmas, and I said, you know what?
Good.
I'm gonna jump into some multiplayer because I will not play that campaign from everything I've heard. Um,
Right.
Multiplayer's exactly how it always has been. Um,
Yep.
but I like it. You know, it's fun to jump back to sometimes.
It's good mindless fun sometimes.
Yeah, I was like,
Just to be able to run around, shoot people, get shot, die. It's a good way to kill an hour or two.
yeah, it's like I don't have any goals. I'm not trying to build towards anything. I just want to get in
Mm-hmm.
there and, run around, shoot some people, capture some flags, all that stuff.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Gosh. I think, was there anything we cared about more back then than prestiging in Call of Duty? Like it was this, I remember it being such a goal. Maybe it was just me. Like, dude, we are prestiging tonight. Like, let's go. That nerdy stuff.
I always tried to avoid prestiging because I didn't want to lose all my stuff.
Oh yeah,
Like
but was by mod 3 you were able to like you could unlock a gun so you could carry
oh
it
yeah,
over.
yeah,
Yeah, I remember that.
and that's the only one that I ever got past like first or second prestige, I think,
Yeah.
because of that. And also, I just all I played was all or nothing. So
Yeah, and you weren't getting many points in that.
yeah, but yeah, that's all I've been up to lately. Just kind of dabbling in a
Well,
few things.
that's good. That's
Yeah.
fun.
Mhm.
You you yeah, like you said, dabbled in a few things. I dabbled as well.
Mhm.
Since at the Game Awards, Monster Hunter Wilds was announced, it made me want to get back into a Monster Hunter game.
Mhm.
So I jumped back into Monster Hunter World, and my God, is that game good? I I checked. I played a little bit today. I haven't played much in like the past maybe week or two, but like I said, over when I got COVID and a little bit before, I started a brand new file, and I put like 35 hours into it
Mhm.
in a week or week and a half or so.
Yeah.
But that game is just JRPG sweet spot, man. That is just I love crafting. I love the grind. I love the cool outfits and the cool weapons that you get out of your grinding.
Mhm.
It's it scratches that brain itch that I need for a good JRPG. I love it.
Mhm.
So that's been a lot of fun. Um, this might sound like total jargon to you, Jake. I know you're not super into it, but I just got to high rank.
Okay.
So they break the game up into low rank and high rank, and then you might have heard of like Monster Hunter World Iceborne. That's like
I
the
think so.
DLC for it, the
Mhm.
expansion.
Yeah.
That's master rank.
Okay.
So you do low rank. That's kind of like the main story,
Mhm.
although the story isn't any good. You don't need to
Yeah.
really concern yourself with it.
Yeah.
But once you beat that, you go into high rank. Now all the monsters are way harder.
Mhm.
You get access to some new monsters and stuff like that. So I'm struggling through high rank right now. I was not expecting such a jump in difficulty,
Yeah.
but I'm trying to work my way through that, trying to
Mhm.
grind out some more. And boy, yeah, you could spend a lot of time doing this, a lot of grinding, but it does it so well that it makes it fun. There's still collecting you can do, and just like crafting your potions and crafting the different items. And there's just the way they do, like, this is so niche, but they do a crafting list, and like there's question marks, and the way you can unlock the question marks by crafting something unknown with something you do have, and it unlocks that question mark, and you can just keep doing that. Oh, it's so satisfying. I love Monster Hunter. So I played that for a while. I finally bought Red Dead Redemption 2, and I'm not very far in that. I just kind of got to the first like the hideaway, like the first camp, I guess you'd call it. And I did a couple missions in the town. But Red Dead 2 is spoiled for me. I watched the whole Let's Play on YouTube years ago, but I never actually played it, so I thought it'd be fun to get into it. Like I said, not very far. I love Arthur Morgan. I think they do such a good job at making him a good character, because like just looking at him, he's just a rough looking outlaw, which on the surface has no personality, but the more you get into it, you get to learn more about him and how he really is. He's an amazing character. So I've been into that, and then Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is coming out, and several years ago I started after I beat Final Fantasy VII Remake, I started like chipping away to get the platinum for that.
Okay.
And I gave up. That was like 3 years ago, like when it first came out. So I kind of started to get back into that, and boy, that platinum I don't think it'd be hard. It just takes a long time.
Yeah.
It kind of would require you to kind of play the game 3 times, and it's very specific how you do it. So I'm not sure if you're aware, there's a scene in Final Fantasy VII, in the original and in the remake, where you have to impress a lack of a better term, pimp. And so you have to dress really good, and he only lets girls in, so Cloud has to dress up as a girl. And you have to and Tifa and Aerith are with you, and they have to dress up too, and so each one of them gets a dress, and each one of them has 3 different options for dresses. And you don't get to just choose them. The way you interact with the world before that chapter of the story is what determines their dresses.
Okay.
So, oh my God, is it complicated? It's like you can only do a certain amount of side quests in chapter 6 to get this dress for Aerith. In chapter 9, it's like, whoa, I don't know if I can do this one. But and you have to beat the whole thing in hard mode, and boy, do they mean it when they say hard mode, because that thing's hard. Because you aren't allowed to use items.
Oh,
Your magic never regenerates. It only regenerates in between like story missions, or if you like find them in the in crates in the world, you can break them with your sword, and those are few and far between. So you can never use items to refill your health, and you have a limited amount of magic power to use like healing spells. So by the time you can get your health or your MP down to like 5, and then you don't have enough to cast healing spells, so you're just kind of screwed. So it is very hard. And I'm struggling. I'm struggling through that. But let's see. Anything else? I think that's it.
All right. It sounds like a pretty solid lineup there.
Yeah. It's been fun. I hadn't played a lot of video games. Like, I've gamed more in like the past month than I have in recent time, in
Mm,
recent months. So it was fun. I liked being able to really get into Monster Hunter and then just kind of dabble in the other two, in Red Dead and Final Fantasy VII. Video games are fun. Did you know that?
if it's not fun, why bother?
Exactly.
But
Well, okay, that's what we've been playing. I
yeah,
hope you guys are playing some fun stuff too. Christmas time. Christmas time always makes me want to play video games. Like it's cold
yeah,
outside, it's warm and snuggly inside. Like I just want to play video games all winter. I don't know
yeah,
why I feel that way. And like Christmas, like I don't know, it must be like the nostalgia of open up a Christmas present and it's a video
yeah,
game, you know. I just want to go play video games all day.
yeah. I think there's definitely a nostalgic factor, like the excitement of like Christmas morning. You get the game that you've been wanting for months, and that's all you want to do after that. I think that just
Yep,
followed us into adulthood, where we
100%.
just buy the game ourselves, but now we finally have a little bit of time to actually play it.
Yep.
Because like the holidays, just there's so much going on, traveling and all that stuff, and it's finally like, once that's done, it kind of feels like it slows down a little bit, and
Hmm.
it's I've been the same way. I think the last few months, um, I really haven't played very much, and then it hasn't been until like the last couple weeks maybe that I've just really wanted to play something all the time.
Yeah, it's Christmas time.
Yeah.
It's something about it.
Hmm.
So some news broke today. At least I saw it today. I don't did about the SAG-AFTRA, which represents voice actors in video games,
Hmm.
uh, approves the use of AI voices being used in video games, which sounds surprising because it is, and it sounds surprising. It sounded surprising to the voice actor community. It
Hmm.
sounds like nobody voted for it. Nobody knew it was even happening. Nobody knew it was on the table. Nobody
Hmm.
knew that it was going to be approved from uh, who did I see? I think it was like a someone on the Like a Dragon series.
Hmm.
Um, one of the voice actors on there tweeted about it, and one other person I can't remember, saying that they had absolutely no idea
Yeah.
that they were going to do this. Um, I don't see why a union that just spent the last 6-8 months fighting for screen actors,
Hmm.
um, not to be able to use AI for like background actors and stuff like that. Why they would allow something like this to be done? It seems very weird to me. It sounds someone I saw a comment, and this is just internet comments, but it kind of maybe makes sense
Hmm.
that maybe in order to get the screen actors, like the AI banned for the screens, maybe they allowed voice AI voices to be used in like animated features and video
Hmm.
games and stuff like that. Maybe they use that as like a marketing or bargaining chip to get the other one forbidden, but I don't know.
Yeah.
How this would be very bad. I wouldn't like this at all
No.
because some of the examples I've seen of AI being used in media has been awful. It's been so noticeable and it's bad.
Yeah.
You can just see it and notice it, and it bugs me that you couldn't have just paid five extras. You know what, $100 or whatever they can get for the day just to sit in the background. It's just weird. What are your thoughts on all this?
I have so many questions about one, how this happened, just completely like, you know, kind of under the rug, it seems like, because
Yeah.
the Writers Guild strike and the SAG after strike from this summer or this fall or whenever, like, was very public, and I felt like we were getting updates like every day about where that was going. And then they reach a deal, the strike is over, hooray, everyone can talk about movies again. And then
Yeah,
just
we're all
like out of
happy.
nowhere, it's like there's this huge decision that's made that is kind of just like out of the blue. And it makes me wonder,
Yeah,
kind of what you said, like maybe was this part of a deal that was sort of shadily put in there, like, oh yeah, screen actors are fine, like we're not gonna use AI on them, but maybe we could throw in some voice actors for the, like,
yeah,
you know. And it's just, I only see bad things coming from this. Like, at
agreed.
most you could use this for, like, you know, background NPC banter, but even then, like, it's gonna come
It's
off so weird.
Yep, you're gonna
and
notice it right away. You know.
and especially if I, you know, God forbid if they use AI for like a narrative character, like, I don't
hmm
I think you'd have to be pretty scummy to do it for like the main protagonist. But like,
Right.
like if it's any character that you have any interaction with at all, it's going to be noticeable, and it's going to bring the quality of that game or that story down incredibly.
Exactly. Yep. That's well said. It will just bring the quality through the freaking basement.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I mean, just pay people. Like, come on. Just it can't be that bad. Voice actors all do like 17 voices.
Yeah.
You know,
They're
so just pay
constantly
someone to
working.
do all your extras. Yeah. So I don't know.
So
It
I guess,
seems bad.
yeah. I guess, like, I haven't read a whole lot on this. I've kind of just seen some tweets here and there. So
hmm
I guess, is this strictly for video games, or is it for like any animated property?
I don't know. It doesn't seem like we know very much at the moment. Um, I was reading a story from Game Informer. Uh, Wesley LeBlanc, I believe, was the one that was the one that was reporting on it, and it said voice actors.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't. I would assume the same could happen for any animated film. Frozen 3 is gonna have AI, you know,
Yeah.
Elsa's new wife or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know, man. This is
It's not the direction we should be going. That's for sure.
not at all. And it's frustrating that there's still, you know, I feel like the fans and, you know, actors and writers have all been pretty vocal about the fact that, like, we don't want AI. The only people, well, the people who say that they want AI don't understand what that would do to art in general. Like, the
hmm
people who think, like, uh when the strikes were going on, they're like, oh, just, you know, screw those Hollywood elites or whatever, like they make too much money, just throw some AI in there and it'll be fine. It's like, you really don't understand like what makes any art form special then, because
Yeah,
the human
exactly.
element is what makes it, you know, the reason that it's impactful for us at all.
hmm
Like, if there weren't games that had compelling stories, then every game would be Call of Duty. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, video games would just be, you know, mindless, like, shoot, sports, you know, battle, whatever. Like, there'd be no,
Yeah.
like, you wouldn't care about any of the characters. You would just do it for fun, which is fine.
Yeah.
But I think that there's more power in video games than just that.
100%. It's an art form, absolutely no doubt. Like you can't tell me that some of these games moved you in a certain way or made you feel a certain way. You know, they have the. I feel like video games. Obviously, I'm a big video game fan.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I feel like video games can move me more than movies can.
Yeah.
It's so much more interactive, and it can reach a part of me that no other media form ever could.
Yeah.
And if we start to lose that, because of Troy Baker's performance, or Ashley Johnson, or oh boy,
Roger
um,
Clark.
Ashley Bird, Roger Clark, Ashley Birch in Horizon, I think that's her name.
Mm-hmm.
Those voices, those people bring those characters to life, and even any NPCs in like The Witcher 3, like sure some of them have the same voices, but the actors do such a good job at bringing just these random NPCs to life, and you
Mm-hmm.
care about their stories and you care about their side quests and you want to be able to help them.
Yeah.
That's what makes video games amazing. And if we continue down this road of just using mindless AI voices that are going to be terrible and very distinguishable from a human person,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to lose that element.
Yeah.
And I really hope we're not going down that road.
Yeah. I don't really know what like this means for all game voice acting. Like maybe it will just be the, you know, background NPCs or something. That would still suck.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and I just don't understand why like studio executives or whoever's making these decisions keeps trying to push this when I feel like most people have been pretty vocal about how they don't want that.
Money.
Yep.
Money. That's all that really matters.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, AI is being implemented in a lot of different places, and I think it could be very useful in some aspects, but I think it's also going to be used for bad, which we're kind of already seeing with child predators using it for their gross means.
Mm-hmm.
And it could be used in 100 different other nasty ways. So I don't know. Something needs to be done about it to like rein it in a little bit,
Yeah. I don't
or a lot of it.
not every single person should have access to AI, honestly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's kind of our dark, I don't know, our dark portion of the episode. We can move on to some more uplifting news,
well,
I guess.
maybe.
Ish. Caitlin, how do you pronounce her last name? Dever?
I believe it's
I don't know.
Deaver. I'm not 100% sure though.
Okay. Caitlin Dever is finally confirmed to play Abby in The Last of Us Season 2.
Yep.
How do you like the casting? I think we talked about this last time, but
I think we did too.
It's official.
I think it's great. I actually before Bella and Pedro were announced as Joel and Ellie, Caitlin was actually my personal choice for Ellie. After seeing her in a couple things, notably the show Unbelievable, she was fantastic. I thought she would be a great fit for Ellie. Yeah. But obviously, Bella did great. But I'm excited to see what Caitlin does with Abby. For the love of God, get her a lot of bodyguards. Probably get her off of social media. Maybe just go into hiding for the next next year or two, because
Yeah, or
Oh
at least
boy.
until after that episode airs, she might have to go into hiding for a while.
Yeah, I'm a little bit scared for her, honestly.
I am too. As much as spoilers, spoilers, spoilers.
Spoilers,
Last of
spoilers,
Us
spoilers,
season 2,
spoilers.
Last of Us part 2. Now's your chance. Um, Especially as much as the internet rallied over Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
Like Last of Us, I don't know. He was plenty famous before Last of Us
Yeah.
season 1, but he blew up, and
Mm-hmm.
I think the internet's gonna rally around him just as much as they rallied around Joel.
Yeah.
And it's gonna get ugly.
Yeah. And that makes me nervous for a lot of reasons, but I'm wondering like how they're gonna go about that scene. Because, in The Last of Us 2, that happens within, I don't know if it's considered the first act, but it's the first few hours. Like, that is very
Yeah, it's
early
not
on.
long.
And
Mm-hmm.
are they like, can you imagine the uproar, especially for people who haven't played the games, if they did that as a cliffhanger at the end of episode 1?
I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about how cool that scene's gonna be. Seriously, yeah. If that's at the end of episode 1, that that would be insane. My guess, knowing after what Neil and who's the other guy, the other
Craig.
writer,
For the show, Craig Mazin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Craig. What they did with season 1, they kept very true
Mm-hmm.
to the, but they changed very little things, and they made it better.
Mm-hmm.
So my guess is, I bet Neil and Craig will even want to throw a loop for me and you, the people that know exactly what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But I bet maybe they change it just a little bit to make it fun for us, which I kind of hope they do.
Yeah. I mean, I don't
yeah.
want it to be like, copy and paste the game, because I think
No.
the things that made the show the most exciting were the changes.
Yeah.
So I want to be clear, I don't want them to change what, like, the overall, like, what happens, but just maybe tweak some things here and there, like make it more interesting for the people who have played the games to see what happens.
Yeah, just something cool, like, they're in that lodge, or I guess it's like a house, like a
Mm-hmm.
cabin, and like all of us are like, okay, this is where it happens, but
it.
they like, I don't know, somehow he talks his way out of it or something like that, but it still comes to get him. She still comes to get him later, but
Yeah.
like, oh, this is where it happens, but it doesn't actually happen yet. That would be kind of fun.
Yeah.
I think.
Especially, I mean, especially if Joel makes it out of the first episode, I think people are gonna be like, the internet's gonna go crazy, because they're gonna be like, did they take it out? Did they change it? Like,
when's it coming?
When's it gonna happen?
When's it
Like,
coming,
it's
bro?
gonna, if they want to build hype for the show, that's probably the best way to do it. Is,
That's gonna be a lot
don't
of
do it
fun.
episode 1. Give it some time to breathe.
Yep. And then episode 2, golf club.
First
Just
first shot of episode 2.
Opening scene. Yeah, just Caitlin
Oh,
Deaver.
man.
Caitlin Deaver. She's hitting the gym. She's hitting the driving range. She's getting ready. She's all set.
Oh man.
She's preparing for her Abby role.
Yeah. So exciting but scary things coming up for The Last of Us. So yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised. I don't have Twitter. But I do lurk on Reddit a lot, and I was surprised at how positive all the comments were. I don't think I saw a single negative one. Most were saying dear God, get this poor girl off the internet. Have her delete all social media for the next 3 years. Keep her safe at all costs.
Yeah.
Because I think the internet knows her. She's a very recognizable face. She's been in a lot of stuff. She's very good.
Yeah.
So I love Abby. Abby was probably my favorite character in part 2.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very excited to see what she could do with a super aggressive character like that.
Yeah.
Something I don't think I've seen Caitlin Dever play. So that's gonna be fun.
Yeah. I'm in the same boat as Laura. I think Laura Bailey tweeted about this after the announcement. She said, like, I can't wait to see what I learn about Abby from your performance. And I'm kind of in the same boat. I'm like, I'm excited to see a different side of that character. Because, like,
Laura Bailey was the voice actor for Abby, if you didn't know.
Mm-hmm. And like a million other people.
But, millions and millions.
I did not, side tangent real quick, I did not realize how many characters Laura Bailey has voiced. Like,
yeah, probably more than I even realized. It's kind of like Troy Baker too. Like, oh, he was in that.
Yeah. But like they're working for years, but then, you know, they get the one role that actually takes them from just a voice actor to like one of the video game voice actors. And then everybody looks back and they're like, oh my God, they've been doing this for years. Like, how did I not?
Yeah.
They did that voice? How did I not know that? Like,
I feel like Last of Us really did that for the main 3.
Yeah.
Troy Baker. I mean, I didn't know who Troy Baker was before Last of Us, or Ashley Johnson. And then I didn't know who Laura Bailey was, but yeah, pretty big game for a lot of people.
Oh yeah. So,
anyway. We also cast Jesse, which is a name that neither of us have ever heard of.
Yeah, I just found that out from you maybe like 30 minutes ago. I did not know about this. But they cast young Mazzino as Jesse for season 2, which I'm not familiar with his work. The only thing I'm seeing on this article is that he's from the show Beef on Netflix.
Never watched it.
I haven't either. I know it has Stephen Yeun from The Walking Dead in it because I've seen his face on the thing.
Okay.
I hear it's good. I think it might have won an Emmy for something.
Yeah, I think you're quick tangent. You ever watched Invincible on Amazon Prime?
No, not yet.
That's the animated superhero-ish. Stephen Ewan's in that. It's very popular. I don't see why.
Okay.
And I I feel like I have that thought about a lot of things. It's extremely graphic. A lot of gore. Boy, I mean a lot of gore. And maybe that's why it's popular. But it's fine. And then J. Jonah Jameson, what's his actor's name?
J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons. He's in it too. It's well acted. It's well done. I don't know, just weird. I don't know. Not for me.
Amazon really loves the, ultra violent, like graphic stuff. Like, have you ever seen The Boys?
I've watched some of The Boys.
Yeah.
That Boys, that graphic.
They do not shy away from anything in that show.
I feel like sometimes they try to make up for a lack of good storytelling with vulgarity and gore. Because like Game of Thrones kind of did that too, where it's just boobs everywhere. Random sex at Littlefinger's brothel. Like, this doesn't add anything to the story. Why do I need this?
I think it's just, because they could. Like, we're on HBO. Like, we could we could do whatever we want.
We could show boobies, man. Oh man, you can't get those anywhere else.
I think it's kind of
Watch.
like it's like we had like a 10-minute dialogue section here. It's like, all right, we gotta pull viewers back in if they stop paying attention to look at their phones
bored.
or whatever.
Yep,
Like,
they were bored.
yeah, let's bring them back. All right.
Let's cut to Littlefinger's brothel, and you'll just hear sex sounds. That'll bring them back up.
That'll be like, what?
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. All right, Littlefinger. Yeah. Ned Stark. Okay.
All right.
All right. Tangent over.
Yep.
Okay. So, any more thoughts on The Last of Us season 2?
Good luck. I can't wait to see it. Shout out to Nick Offerman and Storm Reed. They both won Emmys for their performances.
Who's Storm Reed?
That was Riley in the Left Behind episode.
Okay. Nice. Yeah. Awesome. Good for them. I didn't see she won.
Yeah, they both won best guest actor and actress respectively.
My wife is very sensitive. She can't watch a Disney movie without crying.
Mm-hmm.
This might be the masochist in me, but I want her to watch the first 3 episodes of The Last of Us and see if she lives.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she could. I think she would be a ball of tears and never come out of it. Especially Nick Offerman's episode. That is one of the best episodes of television I think I've ever seen.
Yeah. Honestly, and I love Nick Offerman, especially, and I loved his performance in that. I almost kind of feel like Murray Bartlett, who played Bill, might have been, if not more deserving, it's definitely like equally deserving.
As deserving, yeah, absolutely.
Like I
agree.
I cannot overstate how much I love both of their characters in that episode.
Yeah. Yep. I saw they had a picture together at the Golden Globes or whatever it was. I'm like, oh, that's nice. Maybe in a certain universe they lived happily ever after.
One can only hope.
I like to think. Okay, Jake. So it is 2024. Exciting year. We just came off 2023. Maybe one of the best years for video games in recent history. So how is 2024 gonna stack up? It's gonna be tough. There's no Zelda, there's no Baldur's Gate 3, there's no Alan Wake 2, there's no Spider-Man 2. We've got a few big ones. There isn't much. I was scrolling through this release list and there's not a lot that's been announced yet. And I meant to look up. I mean, it would be kind of hard to look up. But like, how much did we know last January? Probably not very much either.
I mean,
so
yeah, not really. Like,
probably not. We probably didn't even have the Zelda release date in January. I mean, maybe we did, but
yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either.
We knew for sure that it was going to be a big year for at least Zelda, Final Fantasy, even though that didn't really turn out the way we'd hoped.
Sad
Starfield, face. Even though it also didn't turn out the way we'd hoped. I feel like Baldur's Gate kind of came out of nowhere. I didn't really hear anything about that until it dropped and everyone went crazy over it. But yeah, looking at this list right now, I don't think 2024 stands up at all to 2023. But
no,
I'm excited to be surprised. Like,
yep, I think there's some sleepers in here. I mean, as there is every year. So I made a little list. I went through and I picked out like the noticeable ones, maybe the ones that I kind of cared about, or I thought you would care about. and just kind of threw them into a list. But there wasn't much else. I mean, go to GameInformer.com/2024, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the whole list of every single game that's getting released this year. Okay, so I broke this up into two categories. One's with release dates, one without release dates. So just like a blanket 2024 release date. There's no month or day or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's start with release dates. These are in order. So, like I said, January is a little slim,
Mm-hmm.
but we do have Last of Us Part 2 remastered out January 19th. That's in 9 days, Jake.
Mm-hmm.
Are we excited for that one?
We are. I'm speaking for both of us, obviously. Uh,
Yes, of course.
not not as excited as I thought I would be. Well, actually,
Mm-hmm.
maybe that's not true. I think I'm. I don't think I was ever that excited for it because it's a game I've already played. Um, a lot actually, but I am excited for the new features they're gonna be in there. Like,
You're going to have fun with that new mode, man. You're
yeah,
going to love it. I
yeah.
can already tell.
Graphically, I don't think I'm even gonna notice, but I'm excited
Oh,
to
no.
check out the lost levels. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Even though I think there's only 3 of them, and I'm not sure how long they are, but I'm excited to see what they do with that. I hope there's some
Mm-hmm.
narrative stuff in there that
Are
was
you going
maybe.
to. I'm sorry. Finish your thought. Sorry.
um, I hope there's some narrative stuff in there that maybe they didn't touch on in the main game.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm excited to at least try out the no return uh, game mode and like kind of play with some different characters and just kind of uh see how far I can get. I don't really know what like the progression is going to be in that, if any. It might just be like a zombies, like you start with nothing and just go as long as you can. But
Yeah.
yeah, that looks fun. I'm excited to see what that looks like.
Yeah. I think that's going to be half the fun is like figuring out the mechanics behind it and what all
Hmm.
it what's makes it a new game mode. I hope
Hmm.
it's a little arcadey,
Yeah,
something like that. Do you plan on streaming it at all?
I think I want to stream at least the first time I play it. Um,
Sweet.
like I think I would like to stream like the lost levels and maybe start a new run of the story. Um,
Okay.
just to kind of see if I can pick out any changes or anything. Um,
Yeah. I
but
would I will try very hard to tune into that because I'd love to see your raw reaction
yeah,
to that. That'd be
well,
kind of cool.
especially right now when we've got a little bit more free time, I'd like to. I think we both would like to get some more streaming time in.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I need to start.
Yeah.
All right. So next, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. We've talked about this one before. It showed up in the Game Awards. They get a new trailer or something like that.
Hmm.
This is the sequel to Yakuza 7, Like a Dragon, I believe is what they ended up calling it.
Hmm.
It follows the character Ichiban, which is a people love Ichiban.
Hmm.
Um, Yakuza 7 was a very popular game. A lot of people really liked it. I never even touched it. Um, I know I would like it, but it's another 100-hour JRPG, and I probably won't be able to get too into that.
Yeah. I mean,
Uh,
that seems like it'd be very cool. Like I've seen a lot on it and it looks interesting, but I think it's just a bit more uh than I'm willing to bite off right now in terms of like
yeah,
another game to add to my current insane backlog.
yep. Because if you're gonna want to play it right, which I would have to, you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna have to play Yakuza 7 first, and then play Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth,
Mm-hmm.
and that's two 100-hour JRPGs. And My brain will not let me jump into a sequel. I can't do that.
No.
Not a direct sequel. Okay. Persona 3 Reload is out February 2nd. This is one I would really like to check out. I played Persona 4, I played Persona 5. I kind of bounced off both. I would love Persona 3 to maybe be the first Persona I finish, you know?
Hmm.
It could happen. It could happen. So I'm looking forward to that. February 2nd. It's a ground up remake, I think, of the
Okay.
original Persona 3. I think it came out for the PlayStation 2. I could be wrong on that. So we're going way back. So they're remaking that, all new graphics. It looks really good. It looks even better than Persona 5, I think.
Hmm. Yeah, that to clarify, that original Persona 3 did come out on PS2.
It did. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're way back.
Hmm.
So this would be cool. I don't really know what the new mechanics or old mechanics were of that, but I'm excited. I think I'll probably check that one out.
Yeah.
On the same day, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, February 2nd.
Yep.
There have been some stories that some journalists have gotten their hands on it, and it's not good, from what I've heard.
Hmm.
But we'll see. This is from who? This is the same people that made the Arkham series, isn't it? Rocksteady.
Yeah,
Rocksteady.
Rocksteady. Um, which the Arkham games are uh pretty well liked, I feel like. I think they do get a
Mm-hmm.
bit repetitive
Yeah.
sometimes, but I think I started Arkham Asylum just because I'd heard so much hype about it, and then I did play quite a bit of Arkham Knight uh
Okay.
back when that first came out, and it was pretty fun. I'm I don't have too high hopes for Suicide Squad. It just hasn't looked very good, and seeing these reviews, like I just typed it in, and the first articles that come up are Kotaku: Suicide Squad previews paint a pretty meh picture. IGN: we played it and didn't like it.
Yep.
uh
That's one I saw.
yeah, it's I don't know. I'm I don't want it to fail, but
No,
I don't
never.
really care if it succeeds. Like it doesn't really look like it's for me. I highly doubt that they're actually going to live up to the Kill the Justice League name. Like, honestly, I don't,
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to be that
You're not
bold.
killing anybody.
You're not going to kill
Nope.
Superman.
You're not
Like,
killing a single thing. Nope.
yeah, but I don't know.
I
I'm sure
recently
that,
watched the
uh, go ahead.
Snyder cut of Justice League.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I liked it. I liked it way more than like the original.
I don't think I ever saw the original. I haven't seen Snyder Cut either, but I'm just not a big DC guy.
Me neither. I like Batman. That's about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I loved the Dark Knight trilogy. I actually liked the Batman with Robert Pattinson a lot more than I thought I would. Um,
yeah, me too. I loved that movie.
but yeah, but you think that was Snyder Cut is worth checking out?
Absolutely.
Okay,
I thought it was really good.
good.
And then we had watched Justice League like when it first came out. And
Hmm.
we might have even went and saw it in theaters.
Yeah.
And then we just like when we were sick with COVID, we watched the Snyder Cut. Really liked it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went back and watched the original again.
Yeah.
And then we noticed there's a ton of differences. Obviously, the Snyder Cut is 4 hours long,
Mm-hmm.
and the original is like less than two. So they leave out a ton of character development and a lot of little story bits.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Snyder Cut's just, it's way better.
Yeah.
Watch the Snyder Cut. Just forget the original ever existed.
Okay. No problem.
Good. Forgotten.
Yep.
Okay, next. February 13th. Banishers Ghosts of New Eden. We've talked about this one.
Yeah.
Jake is absolutely guaranteed to play it.
I will play this one. It intrigued me from the first time that I saw it, and it's continued to look pretty good at every update they've given. I'm excited for it. I think it'll be, at the very least, I think it'll be interesting. I'm excited to see like what is going on with the story and the two main characters, and like, yeah, it's I'm just reading through the main site here. Apparently choices matter in it, so I'm interested to see how that plays out, like if there's uh different endings based on your choices and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does look very interesting. I would like to check that out. Maybe not the day it comes out, but eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next, the big one. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I don't need to talk anymore about that. February 29th. That's going to be probably my game of the year, but we'll see. Next, we're into March. Unicorn Overlord. I'm having a tough time saying that. That comes out March 8th. This is a tactical JRPG, which is right up my alley as always.
Mm-hmm.
This is from the creators of, everybody knows their
Obviously.
name. Yep. They obviously made 13 Sentinels.
Which
Aegis Rim, which I've never played, but I've heard is very good.
I
It's from
totally knew.
Vanillaware.
Okay.
Yeah, you knew that. From Vanillaware. Tactical JRPG always catches my attention. Just those words alone, just hearing that they've got a really good track record with 13 Sentinels makes me even more excited.
Mm-hmm.
Any chance you play a tactical JRPG?
Maybe someday.
Maybe someday. Not March 8th, but maybe someday.
I mean, if there's a game that could get me to try out a JRPG or a tactical game, Unicorn Overlord is probably that one could probably pique my curiosity enough.
Yeah, that's the name is catching, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Still in March, Dragon's Dogma 2, March 22nd. This is the follow-up to Dragon's Dogma, obviously. That game came out, I don't know when, but I played a little bit of it when it came to Switch,
Mm-hmm.
and it's very good. It's Capcom's action RPG fantasy rendition, but I think it's kind of core mechanic is that the monsters are huge and you can climb them and chop off parts and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know much about this. At least I haven't seen much other than the reveal trailer, I think. But that's gonna be cool. I'm always up for fantasy RPGs, as I've probably let on throughout this podcast history. What do you think of Dragon's Dogma 2? Have you seen anything on it?
It definitely looks interesting. That's probably going to be another one that maybe I'll wait to see what people think about it. I don't know if that'll be a day one for me, but it's
Mhm.
definitely piqued my interest at least.
Definitely. The next one on the same day, March 22nd, Rise of the Ronin. This is another one that you absolutely have to play because you've talked about it too much.
Yeah.
So you can't play Dragon's Dogma 2 because you will be playing Rise of the Ronin.
You're gonna hold me accountable this year. We're gonna
I absolutely am.
I
Banishes Ghost of New Eden and Rise of the Ronin.
these are
You better
the
show up.
it's fair. These are both games that I have talked about uh pretty much since they were announced, and I've continued to talk about them. So I think it's
Right.
only fair that I try them out for myself. Myself. I don't know why I said that. Uh, but yeah, Rise of the Ronin looks very cool. It kind of looks like almost like a Sekiro, but I think you have guns, and you know, I think there's also
Yeah.
like a hang glider or something. It looks like it's just gonna game. It'll be a game that has just fun mechanics, and it'll be uh, a nice like. I don't know if I would put it in like the mindless category, but it looks like it's gonna be a lot more like action packed fun than
Yeah.
like uh narrative stuff.
Mm-hmm. Just a game where you're kicking ass.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Next would be Euden Chronicle 100 Heroes. That's a mouthful. April 23rd.
Mm-hmm.
This was a Kickstarter game I read about, geez, years ago. It's a follow up to. I struggled on this last time I brought it up to some old game. I've Suikoden maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's from the original creators of that old game. Um, and it sounds like they named it 100 Heroes for a reason. You can have 100 party members, not all at once, but I think you have 100 to choose from and take them out. I think
Wow.
you can have like six or eight in your party at a time.
Wow.
But this is another JRPG, so naturally, Justin's interested.
Yeah. See now, I hear 100 different heroes, and my thought is like, how do you even like figure out which ones to use? Like,
You haven't played a lot of JRPGs, have you, Jake?
no, I have not.
This is gonna be a walk in the park for us, man. Because
It's
this one's gonna have a little bit more vitality than this one, but it has some elemental quirk that this one doesn't have. So you're gonna take this one to fight this boss, but against this boss, you're gonna want to take the other one. That's how this works.
I'm already overwhelmed just hearing you talk about it.
See, that's so fun. That's why I love JRPGs. They're so weird like that and don't make any sense, but it's perfect.
I'm happy for you. I'm just gonna stick to my I don't know. Tell me a story and then let me shoot people. I'll stick to those types of games.
Yeah, yep. I don't blame you. All right. That's it for everything that has a release date. There's not much yet, but
Yeah.
I'm sure as the year goes on, there's gonna be plenty more announcements.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty slim start to the year, at least from the look of it. But
Yep.
you know, I'm interested. Yeah, interested to see what surprises are in store for us this year, because I feel like there's always a couple games that kind of just don't get a whole lot of marketing or hype leading up to it that just blow up as soon as people play them. So
Yep. Especially those
that'll be
indie
cool to see.
games.
Yeah, like
Yep.
like Dredge and all that, and like
Yep.
Pizza Tower,
Yep.
all the stuff that came out this year. Like
Dave the
I didn't,
Diver, like
yeah, didn't hear about any of that until it came out, but then people were just raving about it.
yep. So stay tuned and
Mm-hmm.
we'll update you on all the greatest. announcements and the greatest games
Yeah.
ever. Um, so without release dates, there wasn't much that I really noticed. Metaphor ReFantagio, I've talked about that plenty. New JRPG
Hmm.
from the Persona team. Looks fun, fantasy elements, cool. Hellblade 2 is still slotted for 2024. Do you think it's
Hmm.
going to stick to that, or does it get delayed?
Uh, I think they'll release this year. I feel like
I'd
that's
hope
been
so.
in the works for, you know, 6 years now. I don't remember when the first one
Ooh,
came out,
yeah, probably.
but yeah, everything they've shown about that, I feel like I see a new trailer for it at like every Jeff Keighley event. So
Yep.
I feel like
Looks,
they'll release this year.
I hope so. Too
Hmm.
scary for me, though. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm still. I think I've started the first one like 6 times, and I've never gotten past like the
The
second
whispers.
area
Too
because
many
it's just too.
whispers.
There's like voices whispering in your ears the whole time. I'm like, it's creepy. But
Even the trailers, give me the heebie-jeebies
hmm.
with especially wearing headphones. Like we watched, I don't know what gaming event we watched together on the computer, but we had headphones, and yeah, that trailer creeped me out. They do a good job at making that scary.
Yeah.
Star Wars Outlaws is another one. Mark my words, Jacob. January 10th, 2024. No way this gets released in 2024. It's not happening.
Nope. I
2025.
Who's making this?
Ubisoft. Isn't it?
Well,
That might be wrong.
no, I think you might be right about that.
It is. Oh man, I'm good.
I think it could come out this year. Um,
Will it be in a playable state?
I don't think the finished product is coming out this year, but I think there will be a game called Star Wars Outlaws that comes out this year.
If it comes out this year, it will be a mess.
Yeah. It'll
Mark it.
But it's Ubisoft, man. Like they're gonna, they gotta hit their quotas for the year, so I don't
Gotta
know.
release it.
They don't have a Far Cry, or I don't know when Assassin's Creed whatever is coming out next, but um yeah, I don't think they have like a big title for this year, so I bet they're gonna push
That's
this one
true.
like
They might.
as fast as possible to get this one out.
Oof. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it comes out and it's fantastic and everybody loves it and wins Game of the Year.
Yeah. One can only
Um,
hope.
Gotta get that bottom line. I
Hmm.
thought more about the question I posed last episode. Is there any other industry that's like the video game industry that releases one product every 4 to 5 years?
Hmm.
Have you had any thoughts about that? Because I was kind of thinking car manufacturers, but even then, they release something every single year.
Yep.
But they sell it once and it's gone. But they make, I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I can't find anything that's the same as the video game industry.
Yeah,
I
I
think about it
mean,
a lot.
the only thing, and this, probably isn't connected at all. The only thing that I thought about is like music, maybe like specific, like a particular band. Probably, if they're really active, they'll put out a new album maybe every 2 years.
Hmm.
Um, but I feel
But
like a
they
lot of them will go like 3, 4, sometimes 5. But
but
that's
they tour.
one band. Yeah,
They make
they
money
tour
from
them.
touring.
Hmm. Which,
So
yeah, I can't really think of a business that puts out one thing and then just lives off that one thing for 5, 6, 7 years like
So
the video game industry
the
does.
I agree. The live service is the equivalent of bands touring.
Yeah.
They put out a product, they support it,
Hmm.
they hype it up, they release things for it, every 2 or 3 months.
the
Bands release an album, they go on tour for a year. It's
that
kind of the same.
that random single in like the off year, that's like the DLC that you
Yeah,
get.
that's the one-off expansion.
That's the season 2 or whatever of the
Yeah. And that's why so
live
many of these
service.
companies want to break that live service
Hmm.
barrier, and so many of them just can't. And I'm trust me, guy, I'm thinking about this all the time,
Yeah.
constantly. I need to figure out what product does that. Books, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I'm
You
such a
release a
new
book.
like reader, so I can't really comment on like the development of books, but
I mean, authors put out a book, they can't really support it.
do book signings or something. Do people
I
still do that?
guess. Yeah. Probably not a
Put out
can't
special
make them
editions
that
of
much
it.
money. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we're onto something. Okay, we'll keep thinking about it.
All right.
Okay, so this only goes through, I guess, April. This list that we just went through.
Hmm.
Um, how? I guess we kind of already answered our own question. How 2024 is going to stack up against 2023? It needs a ton of sleeper hits. It needs a Baldur's Gate 3 just to come out of nowhere and smack us all in the face and wow us.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think that game is on this list yet. Um, it's just it's gonna have to, like I said, come out of nowhere. I think
Yeah.
you're gonna need like 2 or 3 of those.
Yeah. I think right now the big hit of the year, which not really for me, but for you and a lot of people, is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's, I think that's the big one for the year. Kind of like how it. I don't know if it's to this level, but I think that's how Zelda was at the start of last year. Like that was
Mm-hmm.
the big game that everybody was waiting for, and I
Yeah.
think that that's probably Final Fantasy VII for this year.
Yep. We're just gonna have to sit and wait for some sleepers
Yeah.
to come and smack us in the face.
Honestly, I kind of hope that it's a slower year. Not because I don't want to play new good games, but I also kind of want to catch up on all the
Yeah.
huge games that came out over the last few years.
Yeah. In 2023, there's plenty. I was trying to catch up on the Asterion dating simulator today. Um, Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is, Jake, but I have had nothing but problems with Steam ever since I got my computer. Updates take forever and crashes. It's weird. I've done everything that the internet tells me to do, like clear the download cache, do this, do that.
Hmm.
Nothing ever fixes it. I never got to play Baldur's Gate today. It took like 3 hours to download and install.
Yeah.
It sucked.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I think this is why I was a console gamer for so long. Is computers are complicated.
They are, and I don't know what I'm doing. Lucky I can manage a podcast.
It's
That's pretty complicated.
a lot of work.
Okay, are we ready to move on to our random roll review?
I think so.
Okay, here we are with our random roll review spreadsheet. This has been updated for January 2024. This was not a fun spreadsheet to make. It took It took a
Really?
long time. Yeah, yeah. So this, I'll explain where I got all this. This is from the website Deku Deals.
Mm-hmm.
You can search, you can track any game on any platform now. It used to be just Nintendo Switch,
Mm-hmm.
but now you can track the PlayStation Store and I believe Xbox and maybe even Steam. I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
But this is, you can track any, create an account, track any price or any game. It'll tell you the price of it, the price history of it. It'll notify you when games go on sale. Super useful.
Okay.
I encourage you to check that out. It's Deku Deals.
Okay.
So I went to that website. I filtered down uh, to just the Nintendo eShop. I made it from the price range from $10 to $20, I believe, because we don't want to go broke here.
Mm-hmm.
We're not made of, neither of us are made of money.
Nope.
And setting the limit at 10, the bottom limit at $10 kind of eliminates the cash grab crappy games.
Mm-hmm.
And then I made the Metacritic a minimum of 70, which I kind of would hope eliminates some really bad games,
Mm-hmm.
like the random porn games that show up on the eShop all the time.
Yep.
Gets rid of those. And you might be saying, holy crap, that's not going to leave you very much. You're wrong. I'm going to scroll here for a while. Yes, you're reading that correctly. 468 game options. Now, oops. We have done this once before, only once. So if by some act of Odin we get one of the games we've already done, we'll obviously roll again. If we roll a game that we've played before, we'll roll again. The point of this is to show that every game is important in its own way, and we need to try to, I don't know, play a game we've never played before, hopefully something we've never even heard of before.
Mm-hmm.
Try to break out of our own shells, bring light to a game that maybe got not enough hype when it came out. Let's see. The last time we did this, I reviewed Shantae and the seven sirens, something like
Yep.
that. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was fine. I just don't like side scrollers. It was 100% a me thing.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been fine. And then you reviewed some bullet hell game, right? Cactus
Uh,
something.
Assault Android Cactus Plus, um, which
Okay.
was like a bullet hell, like Android shooter, but kind of for kids.
Yep,
Um,
I can see it right here. I put your name by it, so
and it
we
was
won't.
it was pretty fun. I did. Uh, I haven't gone back and played since, but I did enjoy the time I had with it.
Good. Okay, so kind of I'm all over the place. But after I narrowed that down, I copied and I pasted. I did a Control A and then a Control Copy and then a Control Paste into a spreadsheet, and boy, that gave it a lot of information. So I had to go through and delete all the random information that came through
Mm-hmm.
that. So it was only the games,
Yep.
and it took me a little while. So give me some appreciation, please. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, moving on. All right, so what we'll do, we will roll our 468 sided die. Whatever number that lands on, Jake and I will play. And on the next episode, in hopefully 2 weeks, we will review them. We'll talk about what they are, the good things, the bad things, all that stuff. I think it's a fun little challenge too for
Mm-hmm.
both of us.
Yeah.
All right, Jake, would you like to go first?
I would.
Okay. You're just gonna have to trust the number that I tell you.
Okay.
So I've set the minimum at, for the random number generator, minimum at 1, max at 468.
Okay.
And here we go. 204.
204. Okay. Let me scroll through here.
Ooh, I'm jealous.
John Wick Hex.
John Wick Hex. I'm
Okay.
jealous. I'm
That
jealous. I've
I
heard this is a very good game.
I have heard of this one. If I'm thinking of the right one, I think it's like a top-down shooter type of thing.
I believe so. If you click the link um
We'll pull up
in the yeah, it'll take you to the Deku Deals page. We're looking at it right now. I believe it's a tactical game.
okay.
That's the Hex part. Oh, I'm actually very jealous. This looks good. Any play watch listen fans, Alana Pierce's podcast might know this game. It's developed by Bithell Games. Mike Bithell created this game, and I believe Austin Winnery did the soundtrack.
Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I think that was a good roll.
Good roll, Jake.
I'm
204,
excited.
good roll. All right, I'm gonna add Jake, and then I'll put 110/24 for the date.
Okay.
Cool. All right, Justin's next. Here we go. 111.
111. Okay.
Devil May Cry. This
Devil
must
May Cry.
be the original.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume this is a port of the original to the Switch. Have you ever
Yeah.
played Devil May Cry?
Nope, not a one.
Okay.
And it looks like I get unlucky because this goes on sale all the time, but it is currently not on sale, so that's fine.
Oh man. Maybe we probably shouldn't have done this right after the holidays were over.
Right.
Like
That's
we
why we
might have
set the
missed
limit at
out.
20, Jake.
It's fine.
That's why we set the limit at 20. Yeah,
We'll be
no
fine.
big deal. Okay.
All right.
Well, there we have it. Let's see. We'll put, oops, Justin 10, 24. All right, Devil May Cry. Where is Shantae? I'm gonna put my name next to that.
Oh, you haven't proudly claimed that one.
No, she's not on here. She's not the one I played.
Maybe you
It
removed
might,
it, or
it
did
might have
you?
been on sale when I put it on
Oh,
there
okay. Mm-hmm.
because it's showing the games that are $20 on
Right
sale.
now. Okay.
So if we were to come across one that was more, I guess we could leave that up to the person if they wanted to.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm jealous of yours. I've heard Devil May Cry is is good.
Mm-hmm.
I've never played a single one. I know the combat director of Final Fantasy 16 was the worked on Devil May Cry. I don't know if he worked on the original.
Mm-hmm.
But that's something I'll research and I'll find out in the next 2 weeks.
Okay. Yeah, I think this is. I'm feeling a lot more optimistic about this one for both of us than I did for last time.
Yeah, I think both last time both of us got a little I don't know, not our genre.
Yeah. No,
For sure.
no, I'm excited. I'm excited to hear your experience with this because I've never played Devil May Cry either.
Okay,
I've only
cool.
seen like snippets of it through YouTube videos and stuff, and
Hmm.
it looks like it's a little wacky. So I'm excited to,
Bring on the whack.
yeah, I'm excited to hear uh, your experience with it.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right. Well, any closing thoughts here, Jake?
Um,
This is a bit of a shorter episode, but
yeah, we don't do that very often, but
no.
yeah, 2024, I think, is starting out a little bit slow.
Hmm.
But I'm excited to see how the games that we know about turn out, and I'm really excited to see the games that we don't know yet. Um,
Yeah, I agree.
and see if there's any big announcements this year. This could be, I feel like there are definitely years where the games that release aren't that exciting, but we get updates on the next big thing coming in the next few years. So, like,
True.
probably some more updates on GTA 6 in the coming months. Maybe, fingers crossed, maybe a Last of Us 3 announcement. Just,
Ooh, yeah. We get a
one
new
can only hope.
Monster Hunter, right? Monster Hunter
Yeah.
Wilds update.
Mm-hmm.
In I can't remember what he said, March or something, springtime. So we'll get some more information on that.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a good question.
Okay.
Switch version 2 coming out this year or no?
Um, I don't know. I I feel like every tech, like YouTuber or whatever, like whoever I follow that talks about tech, has been saying nonstop last year that this year was going to be the year for Switch 2 or
Mm-hmm.
whatever Nintendo's next console is. Um, but I kind of feel like they've been saying that for a couple years now. Like
I agree. Yep.
back in 2021 or something, it's like next year is going to be the year. It's like, well, it hasn't been yet. So,
Yep.
but also Nintendo's like, uh, I mean, I don't want to say they're falling behind because they're doing fine. Like people, there's
Yeah, of
still
course.
people buying Switches. Like they're not losing money by any means. Um, but in terms of hardware, I think they are a little bit behind on the standards for today. Um, so it would be cool to see them put out, like, I don't know if they wouldn't call it a Switch 2, but if they put out a new Switch style console, just made it more updated, um, I think that would be cool. I would say if it is coming out this year, it's going to be very, very late, like holiday 2024.
Yeah, yeah. It would absolutely be holiday.
Mm-hmm.
Although Switch came out in March, didn't it?
Yeah.
The
And I'm trying to
yeah, 'cause it
remember.
came with Zelda, and Zelda was in March. So I don't
I
know.
Yeah, I think they announced it like pretty late in, like pretty close to the release date, because
I was just kind of thinking if it's coming out this March, we would have already known about it.
yeah, I don't think they would wait that
S-
long. But they I think they'll announce it, and within 3-4 months it'll be out. Not from today, but from the time of announcement. I think 3-4 months probably.
Yeah, I could see them announcing in March that it'll be out in November.
Okay, yeah,
It would be my guess.
yeah, but
But we're in desperate need of an updated console because the Switch is, I think it's hitting its peak. I mean, I think we're lucky that usually first party Nintendo titles run perfect on it because they're
mm-hmm,
built from the ground up to run on that Switch
yeah,
by the people that made the Switch.
mm-hmm,
Third party games, um, like Pokemon, Pokemon's not made by Nintendo, they're made by Game Freak.
yeah,
And for some reason, just didn't stand up to even to Tears of the Kingdom, which ran fine on my launch day Switch.
yeah.
And even like Xenoblade Chronicles 3, I never played it, but I've heard plenty of other people on podcasts say how perfectly that ran,
Mm-hmm.
visually stunning. And Pokemon just can't step up for some reason. And other third party games that aren't coming to mind, so I should probably stop talking. But it's time for a hardware update. I don't know what that entails. I hope they don't change too much.
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo always likes to do the fun little quirky things, like just kind of keep the same model where you can remove the Joy Cons. Just kind of don't change too much. Don't get too weird. You're gonna lose people because
I
it's gonna be too complicated.
I think Nintendo kind of like hit their stride with. I mean, they've been around forever, so I don't want to say that. But I kind of think the
Yeah.
Switch is the perfect Nintendo console. Not like on specs necessarily, but just the idea of a handheld console that can be played docked on a TV, that has removable controllers that you can play like on or off the console. Like, I think that the idea of it is perfect, and especially with Nintendo, their first thing, or like one of the main things that they were known for initially being the Game Boy, a handheld console. I think
Hmm.
like them mixing those was like brilliant. Now I hope they don't try and go completely out of left field and do something super weird. Like, I want them to stick to like the overall formula of the Switch, but just make some updates to it. Like some quality of
Yeah.
life improvements, get some better specs in there, like
I mean, if they
especially
released, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say especially with all of the other handhelds coming out now, like
Hmm.
it's not just the Steam Deck anymore. There's like Asus has their own, Lenovo has their own handheld. Like there's all of these PC companies are putting out their own handheld PCs basically.
Yeah.
So I think Nintendo needs to do something to keep themselves competitive for those third party games.
Yeah. Especially, yeah, they'll always compete with the first party stuff. They could probably run
Mm-hmm.
all of Nintendo on just their first party, you know, all the third
Yeah.
parties just extra in their pocket.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I agree. I think they probably learned their lesson from the Wii U. They tried a
Mm-hmm.
little too hard with that and it flopped.
I mean, the
So,
Wii was weird enough already, but it
I
was
mean, that's
also,
true. And they did super well. So, I mean,
yeah,
what do I know? Um,
yeah.
just fix the Joy-Con issue. You know, if they just came out and said, "Hey, it's basically the same thing except your Joy-Cons won't drift anymore." I think everyone would
Cool.
be pretty happy
Sign
about
me up.
that. Yeah. Yeah, I'll buy it.
Yeah.
$350, sure. Why
Why
not?
not?
Price tag if it does.
Ooh.
Or 399.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it depends on how much they change it or add to it. I feel like Nintendo is always stuck. That's the one thing that they have kind of over PlayStation and Xbox is they've always been a little bit more affordable.
Yeah.
Um, so like where PlayStation was, I think the uh, digital was 400 for a PS5, and Switch is up until the OLED, it stayed at 300 for
Yeah. Yeah, I mean
you know
the OLED, the best of the best is 350, still cheaper
yeah.
than
Mhm.
the cheapest PlayStation.
So I think 400 they would still be competitive, but just hopefully they make some updates to. They don't have to be like PS5 quality, but get a little bit closer. I think
Yeah, of
you know.
course. I mean, we're not going to fit 4K 60 into a little handheld thing, but
Yeah,
2K,
give me
give me
1080
something.
60. I'm good with that.
Yeah. And that's only on, you can get 1080 60 on docked, right? Or no?
You can get
1080
1080.
30?
I don't know if it goes 60. I think 30 FPS might be the max on
Yeah. You're
Switch, even on
probably
dock.
you're probably right.
Uh,
Um I hope it comes out this year.
yeah,
I'm that'd be fun. Launch title, Super Mario Odyssey 2.
God, that would be awesome.
Mario Odyssey was a really good game.
It was so good. I don't like.
I loved that game.
I don't really think about it a whole lot because you know, it's been several years since I played it, but like that was one of the most exciting like games to come out in the last decade for me because it was, all the fun of like the old 3D Marios, but you know, just cranked up even more.
Yep. That game will always have a very big place in my heart.
Mm,
It was the first game my daughter really got into
yeah.
when she was only probably 3 years old, maybe
Mm-hmm.
4. And I'll never forget the in that first area. I guess the second with the T-Rex,
Mm-hmm.
and you can take over the T-Rex. And at the time, she's super into dinosaurs. She
Yeah.
loved dinosaurs. So when she threw that hat at that dinosaur, I'll never forget the look on her face when she ran up to me and says, "Dad, I'm a dinosaur. I'm a dinosaur." And then her and I proceeded to play that a whole lot. Like that was me and her's thing for maybe about a year or so. We
and
got most of the moons. We didn't get them all, but we got
yeah.
most of them.
Well, I mean, there's like, isn't there like a lot?
800.
800. Oh my
800.
god. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, 800. I think we got 600 something. We got pretty close.
Wow. I think I maybe broke like 150 or something.
I might be exaggerating. I don't know.
That's
I'll have to
still
pop it in and try it.
yeah. Well, I think it's funny, like she was 3 or 4 at the time coming up saying like, "Dad, look, I'm a dinosaur." And I think us even as like 25-year-olds at the time were like, "Dude, I'm a
Yeah.
dinosaur."
A dinosaur. This is crazy. This game is nuts.
Yeah.
Because I think before that, the only thing you're taking over is like the little tiny Goombas or the little turtles or something.
Mhm.
And then you can be a T-Rex. It's like,
Yeah.
what? Yeah. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Good game. I can't wait for. I would assume they're working on 2.
I would hope so.
I would
I
hope
mean,
so. Mario Galaxy got 2,
yeah.
so hopefully Mario Odyssey gets 2 as well.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I think that's all for this episode. Unless you've got any more burning thoughts, anything?
No,
Speak
I'm
now.
just
John Wick Hex.
yeah, I'm excited to check that out and come back with my thoughts on that.
Sweet. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching the 18th episode of the A to Jump podcast. Come back in hopefully 2 weeks. We will have Jake's thoughts on John Wick Hex. I'll be playing Devil May Cry. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one.
Right.
Bye.
Keep on gaming.
Keep on gaming.